Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek.
A Ferengi blast from Dahl's past helps make a first contact visit, but watch out for rule of acquisition number 21. Never place friendship above profit. And the kids finally discover the transporter, and they have a sweet way to test it.
You know, you really got to stop. You just can't keep going. I don't care if she has nice software. Don't go into her shower. And I know Patrick has it and Rocky has a nice interface plug. That's not an interface plug. That is a reproductive tool. Stop using the transporters. I don't. Yes, everyone's aware that Heather has nice software. Don't try to change this. Oh, all right. You are telling me the light is on. You're not trying to change the subject. Thank you. Anyway. All right. Sorry about that. You guys had a little bit of family business. Apparently, the dots have figured out how to use a transporter pad, and they've been beaming into showers and weird places all over the ship.
I mean, I did ask them to check on the sonic showers to do maintenance, but I didn't mean while they were being in use.
Yeah.
Sure you didn't.
They popped in, and one in the dots 007, I think he got turned into part Ferengi. Apparently, he teleported into Heather's shower, and he was like, nice software, and then he tried to sell me pictures. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not in the rules. So, and they're now having a contest. So you guys be careful in your shower. They want to see who's got the longer interface cord between you and Patrick.
It depends on how warm the shower is.
Well, that's true. So don't take any cold showers if they're going to be popping in. And it would occur to me that they are waterproof since we do send them out in space and they're good there. So maybe we could find a way to lock them down. All right. Uh-oh. Heather isn't here yet. Does that mean that she was just coming out of the shower? Or, dang it, or did the dot lock her in? Heather, are you there?
I'm waiting for you to introduce me.
Oh, so she wasn't locked in the shower. Okay. First off, my name is Captain Nathan Adams aboard this wonderful vessel. And if you're a child or somebody under the age of 18, please get the frack out of the broadcast here. You're not supposed to listen to us. We have a full crew complement today. We have our science officer, who hopefully is closed now.
Yes, I am. Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer who just got out of the shower and is going to kill that dot who took pictures of me. He's still running around and I have a towel on with nothing else. And I am so upset right now, I have to tell you.
Don't worry, the camera broke.
Oh, thank God. Hey, wait a minute, you asshole. That was so rude.
No, he wanted you to feel bad. The camera actually broke when the dot was trying to get away from you, and
it bounced off the wall and shattered the lens.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you... Okay.
Now you all get artsy photos that have the refraction lens thing going on.
Yeah, it looked like one
looks
of those.
Very cool, but you can't tell what it is.
So that works out. Okay, we have our wonderful computer guy here, my number one.
Hey, this is Patrick. I'm number one. I'm the computer guy and the foreign species liaison, and my connection today is a little tenuous, so if I pop in and out, that's why.
Normally you have things popping in and out, so that's a first. And of course, we have our winner of the O'Brien Award.
Hey, everybody. I'm Rocky. I'm the engineer of the show and the ship, and it's on the shelf. It looks really nice. It's a pretty award. I'm not bragging or anything, but, it is appreciated. I just want to let you know the Tribbles, you may think they're acting a little strange, but apparently it looks like they're just normal Tribbles like normal. But what happened is they were with me when I was watching the finale of the recent season of The Expanse. And, everyone's just got excited and started shouting Belterlowda. And the Tribbles had just started chirping along with it. Fortunately, you can't tell the difference because it just sounds like the Tribbles purring like normal.
Oh, that was a good season finale.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a series finale.
It is.
They were done on that, but it was good.
There's talk that it may that the show may end up getting picked up by somebody else.
Can you say spin-off? I mean, there were so many things left wide open on that show.
Well, they've only gotten to book 6 and there's 9 books. So.
Right.
And they definitely left some threads on stuff that can be picked up on. So we're not going to say what, because we don't give spoilers for that show.
Just watch out for the kids with the creepy looking eyes.
Avasarala ends up pregnant.
Yeah.
What?
And,
What?
What?
Spoilers.
And it's the first time they had a bunch of full male nudity on the show. So.
Well, now I have to watch it.
I mean, they did use the F word quite a lot this season.
Yes, they did. Okay. Also, thank you for fixing the air circulation, because we finally got rid of all the Tribble fart smell.
It wasn't a bad smell.
It wasn't a bad
It could have
smell.
been a whole lot worse. I think we got off really lucky that time.
We did.
Yeah.
It just smells like we're out in the forest, because it was kind of peaty with an oaky odor. So that was good. So I'm glad about that. Okay, now we have the full crew. Everybody is alive. We're going to find out if we had any corrections.
Well, I don't know if I can do that, because if I jump out of the app on my iPhone,
Wait,
it cuts me off. So
what the hell are you still using that archaic technology? iPhones are like 21st century stuff.
Right?
Oh, I know. You were doing research on it. So
you kept your
I got
notes
it.
on the phone, and then you can't.
yeah, we didn't get any. I just checked. There's no
corrections.
I have to make the sound effect sound older than it normally does.
It's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to jump into the news of the week. Heather, if you can give us the news without dropping your towel, that would be appreciated. Maybe?
I'll try. I'll try. I got tribbles under my feet, so I'll do my best. Okay. So my news this week is the Book of Grudge, which we talked about in previous episodes. And if you want more information on Grudge, this is the way to do it. The Book of Grudge is now available today, so you can get it.
Woohoo! Nice. Outstanding.
Yay!
And Pat, what do you got for us?
Well, let's see. Shazad Latif was talking about Section 31, about how he was originally supposed to be part of that with Michelle Yeoh, and that it is still very much up in the air. Just FYI, he's got a new show coming out where he's playing Captain Nemo on Disney series Nautilus.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
That's quite an upgrade to Captain. That's good for him.
Right?
Yeah.
But Section 31 is still alive. We still obviously don't know much more about it, but it looks like he's going to be following Michelle Yeoh into the 31st century.
It's the schedules. It's all about the
Section
schedules.
31.
Yeah, Section 31 was definitely on everybody's books. Well, it wasn't on their calendar, but it was like, we're going to do the show, but they had to juggle everyone's schedule, and then COVID hit and everybody's schedule went up in the window. It went all crazy, but they want to do it, but they've got all these other things floating around at the same time. And then Michelle Yeoh got another gig, and he's got another gig. So everyone's gigging, they're doing their work, they're making their money. They'll come around to it when the schedule just drops right into place. I think it's in the future.
God, scheduling sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, they say good things come to he who waits. So I hope the wait is going to be worth it, because I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, all this other stuff going on in sci-fi right now is so cool. So
there's a lot of stuff.
It's all forward looking.
Which is a perfect segue to, what do you have for us, News Chief?
Well, you remember that moment at the end of Star Trek Picard, the hand-holding moment between Rafi and Seven of Nine?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a foreshadowing to something, right?
Ooh.
What?
Well, apparently there is a audio drama, is what they're calling this, that's going to be released on Audible. In fact, mark your calendar or pre-order now. You can pre-order this thing right now, actually. It'll be released February 22nd. This is called Star Trek Picard: No Man's Land.
Oh, that's really
it's going to be an audio drama with Michelle Hurd and Jerry Ryan. And apparently the story is they're chilling at Rafi's place, one of her hideaways, and they hear a cry for help. And they go and save the day, apparently, because that's the kind of ladies they are. But they definitely say they're going to, this is the quote from the article, they're going to explore the attraction depicted in the final moments of Picard Season 1. So all you who love hand-holding moments are going to probably want to listen to this audio drama.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
Hey, Doc, those I need pictures of. Oh, wait, that wasn't muted? Damn it. Fuck. Okay. Do you know who's doing the voiceovers?
Well, aside from the two actresses, Michelle Hurd and Jerry Ryan.
Oh, they're both doing it?
They're both in it. And there's a whole other cast. There's another cast involved because there's some Romulan characters. And I didn't copy and paste the part with the names of the other actors involved. But it's going to be good. It's going to be worthwhile to download and hear this thing.
Well,
Sweet.
I wonder if this is going to be John DeLance. He does such a talent with doing different voices. I loved a lot of his audiobooks.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Hopefully somebody has sent out on a secret mission will be successful. Okay. My news. Those of you that like Eagle Moss Hero Collection does a really good job with their starships. I actually have some in my ready room on the shelf there. They're just awesome and amazing. However, I squealed like a bath toy when I found out what they're also putting out next. They're going to have a hero collection of the USS Titan, which is really friggin' awesome. And they're also going to have not only the Titan, we're going to have the USS Nog, and as well
That's awesome.
as the Prometheus.
They're going to have the Noggles? What?
Captain Nog. So they have his ship, and it's going to be available for pre-order from Eagle Moss coming up really soon.
Oh, that's fun.
That's the new model of the Nog is 8 inches long. I'm going to leave that alone. And it
vibrates. What?
And it has
Is it ribbed for her pleasure?
Yeah, and it has a shelf for its free-floating warp nacelles. So if anybody's interested in my
are they detachable
cells? I guess so. So that's coming up, and I'm really looking forward to those starships. Eagle Moss does such a great job. So I
gotta admit that part of being a fan is being able to involve yourself in all the artifacts of merchandising that come out from the various shows we see, and to be to look at the stuff Eagle Moss puts out and just like you can have that on your shelf is mind blowing to me. It's very cool stuff.
It is very awesome. Now that we've gotten the news out of the way, Heather, if you need a moment to be able to get something on, you can, because one of the dots reported that another dot is like hanging out by your quarters, hoping the tower will drop.
Jesus, I swear these little dots are relentless.
Yeah, they are.
I'm really curious to know who gave them the orders.
Wasn't me.
Uh-huh. So
I may be in charge of engineering if you're pointing in my direction. Yeah, it could be falling under my responsibility, but I will neither confirm nor deny an alternate. When the dots are not busy, they have a screensaver mission, basically. So I think they're trying to save somebody's screensaver.
Well, I was able to slip into a uniform regulation scant, so I think we're good.
Wait, what do you mean they're all depressed now? Yes, she is dressed. What the hell? You guys are supposed to be like unisex.
Can't they go repaint the hole or something?
That's a good idea.
They don't realize that I keep some of my clothes in the shower with me, so I have clothes available close to me when needed.
But see, I thought dots didn't have a gender. They were like gender fluid. I guess for some reason they fixated on you.
It goes beyond gender, sir.
Oh, this is true.
Maybe they're just horny.
Well, that's true because they did talk about your interface there, Chief.
Meanwhile, we reviewed a show, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. I
Captain. I guess it's up to you. Let's go ahead and get started.
So this week's episode is Star Trek Prodigy, Season 1, Episode 7, First Con-Tact. It first aired January 14th, 2022. Teaser.
January 13th.
13th, 14th, 15th, whatever. It's one of those days. Thank you.
It was my birthday. That's why.
Oh, that's why you know. Oh, by the way, it's news. Patrick's birthday. I got a new segment.
Yeah, happy birthday to our wonderful, extraordinary computer person and my number one. So happy birthday.
Better than being your number two.
We finally got all the glitter out of the galley.
Okay, teaser. They killed Murf, those bastards. The Prodigy gang is kind of freaking out about what happened to Chakotay and his crew, Janeway most of all. So in order to distract themselves from these unsettling thoughts, they decide to play with the transporter to, see what it could do. Like serving piping hot pies or transporting the indestructible Murf into outer space so he could slide down the front windshield.
That was kind of funny because that just, again, they highlighted how young the crew is because it's a new toy.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been wondering about this because every Federation starship that I know of has a transporter and just waiting for these kids to stumble upon it and what they're going to use it for. And I love what they came up with.
Transporting pies. And they're like, we have to try something living. Let's do Murf. He's indestructible.
Isn't that convenient?
This is so okay. The title of my thing, They Killed Murf, Those Bastards. One is a play on South Park. They killed Kenny, those bastards. And two, this is the very first episode where all of our characters use the transporter for the very first time. And we all know the controversy behind the transporter. The reason why Scotty and all of them didn't like to use it was the thought that you died, it killed you, and then it assembled new cells. So you're basically a new person when you're transported back in. So technically, when they transported Murf, they killed Murf.
oh, this is true.
That whole controversy of the transporter.
Yeah.
I'm just like loving the floor pie. I mean,
The floor pie.
talk about 5-second rule. Well, what if you beam it halfway across the starship?
It's still 5-second rule.
And I like it. It was really funny. They're like, where is it? Where is it?
It's like, find the pie. You're the one that beamed it. Where'd it go?
Well, that ship looked pretty clean. I don't know. I might eat pie off the ship floor. Our floor looked that clean too.
Every room looked clean except when they showed the opening montage. They had like the galley and it was like completely thrashed. Like, was that done by the crew or was that done by the kids? Because that place was ripped.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah. There's an inkling on what later on in the show, what may have happened. But it was definitely bizarre to do the pie. And I love the fact that they show how gleeful, because as kids, as adults, we play with the transporter sometimes.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about playing with the pie.
Well, everyone knows,
Or ourselves.
I'm going to not touch that one.
American Pie.
Yeah, like a worm apple pie. So
When they put Murf into the transporter, Rock was like, I love you, Murf. I'm like, aw.
that was cute. Everyone's going to have the Linus issue where he kept popping up in different places.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know how to use the transporter properly.
No.
So that was cool. What'd you get out of this one, number one? You've been awfully quiet.
No, I was like talking. You guys just said
Censored by Section 31.
I think Section 31 got him.
Yeah, they've missed him lately.
Yeah.
so. The fucking iPhone. Like the minute my screen comes on, I lose connection to you guys.
We'll stop using the iPhone and use a pad.
Well, I don't have my pad with me.
The pad did. Okay, well, this was a very funny first section, I will say. A very funny one. I thought it was cool.
I will notice that because the transporter was such a big part of this, the effect in this iteration of Star Trek was a little bit more like the JJ Universe Star Trek effect. Just the visual look about it, the swirly pattern buffer swirls.
It's like putting glitter in a blender.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
Before we go on to the next section, one of my favorite quotes was when Murf is sliding down the windshield and Zero's like, oh, he just keeps going, doesn't he? I laughed out loud for that one.
It was great. And I love that the way they, like, how are you going to pin the communicator on Murf? Just feed it to him.
Just feed it to him, yeah.
That was so funny. And I expected him to leave a slime trail and he didn't. So Murf is not slimy.
Right? How come he didn't have a slime trail?
He wasn't slimy at all. He reminds me of
the snail trail.
He reminds me of the stuff that you would get from like ThinkGeek. It's like computer goop and it's slimy, but it doesn't stick to anything, and you can use it to clean keyboards and nooks and crannies and stuff.
That's some dirty slime, sir.
I just used a Tribble.
Don't clean your keyboard with the tribbles.
Why not? They're so furry.
You had a white Tribble. It was a perfectly albino Tribble, and now it's brown.
Wait, that's what happened to the white Tribble?
That's what happened to the white Tribble.
Yeah, I needed to dust. I used it as a duster.
Well, use your muff instead of a Tribble.
Nah, the Tribble works better. Works even better as a mop. Especially when it vibrates. It's a perfect mop.
Okay. Oh my God.
Is that why you kept flashing up on your screensaver pictures of Klingons?
Oh God.
So they'd scream and vibrate.
Yeah.
I really need to get all of you in for a psych eval coming up here lately.
I don't know. We might disturb the therapist too much. He might run away.
We have to get Cronenberg.
Oh, no.
I guess we could move to the next section.
Hi, Captain. Act 1. Home Sweet Hammock. Happy to have Murf back in one piece, the team is surprised when the ship receives a distress call at that very moment. The stranger needs immediate transport due to a compromised warp core, and on top of that, they have sick orphans aboard who need help. But Dow's not buying it. He recognizes the captain who raised him, a Ferengi by the name of Daemon Nandi. They transport over to Nandi's ship. First time is always a trip. And hang out in Dahl's old room under the engine. Tucked away under his hammock is a cloaking device, which is in some serious need of some juice. Good thing that they have tons of it, exclaims Rock. Dahl unsuccessfully tries to backpedal and ends up in negotiations, volunteering the team for a sketchy first contact mission.
That was kind of wild. And that voice, who was the voice of the Ferengi? Because it sounds familiar, like we've heard that voice before.
Whoever it was, I wanted to smack her.
Yeah.
I was just like my initial reaction to this was reacting to Dahl reacting. I was like, wait a minute. Dahl's like, wait, there's 6 orphans and they've got a bad case of the phage. That's really not cool. And Dahl realizes, of course, that this is a con. But my first reaction to Dahl is like, wow, he's so insensitive to these poor children. and then I see what's going on. So I was conned by the con of the con.
Because the Ferengis out there just, again, trying to take advantage of people.
Yep, con people.
So that was kind of funny. And he's like, Mom.
Yeah, it's basically his mom. It's like who raised him. That's his mother.
And that explains a whole lot.
Yeah.
A huge ton about why Dahl really pisses us off all the time.
Right. He was raised
by a 2-bit crooked tooth, no good Ferengi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who made him sleep in the engine room under the
engine.
That is so messed up.
I mean, he did have a porthole, but it wasn't a bad looking porthole, but still, that's kind of a screwed up place to, grow up and come into your own.
Now I know why he was able to sleep so well in the mines.
Well, he could come on his own there.
That's for certain. I didn't see any
that's
stucco.
what those white spots were.
Yeah, well, I thought it was stucco.
No, it dries clear. It dries clear.
And how do you know this?
It depends on what it hits. So why didn't Zero pick up on Nandi's sketchiness? That's my question.
I guess it was too far away from him to use his psychic.
Maybe she can't read Ferengi.
Ferengi aren't always easy to read.
Yeah, and it was too far away maybe to get a read. Maybe he has a limit to what she feels. So
Honestly, Zero was paying more attention to Dahl than anything.
Yeah,
that's true.
Zero's like, this dude's sketchy as fuck, people. We need to go.
Yeah, the whole thing is about, I need a baby. And then what's really kind of funny, I thought it was funny, is that once it was revealed it's not a baby, she takes a bite out of it.
Yeah, it's a loaf of bread.
Jeez.
It's like, wow.
Like lunch, I'm going to order lunch in the replicator real quick. But first, I'm going to do this thing and then I'll eat lunch.
I wonder what her long game would have been. Because if they beam over and so it wasn't a kid, it's a full complement of Starship personnel. What the hell was she going to do?
Well, first of all, they ended up being beamed into the brig and without clothes, right?
When they beam her onto their ship, because you're beaming them away from the warp core that's going to blow.
Yeah, it's a good possibility. I just wonder what the long game would have been. But, Ferengis, they had plan A, plan B, plan C. Mm-hmm. And she teases them. It's like, look. Oh, wait, that's the next section. Never mind.
Now, that was a tease.
Yeah,
should we go to the next section?
What else did I'm looking at my notes? There was something else. Oh, the Ferengi spit pan was that was a weird thing to bring up out of all the things you'd bring up on a ship. I mean, other than a Klingon decloaking device, a spit pan,
or the Klingon toenail clippers because they're very
gross.
Hard. Yeah, Dr. Phlox had one. So
I did notice, just for all the Portal fans out there, the Ferengi has a companion cube named PikPox. Although it's not your typical companion cube.
That's a cool.
No, the cake is a lie.
That's cool. Oh my God, the cake is a lie.
So
that's like another Ferengi rule of acquisition: is the cake is a lie.
You have anything to add there, number one, or you're being quiet because of your ancient technology you're so fond of that you're trying to use?
Yeah, I'm just being quiet. I'm listening.
That's a first.
Aw.
Oh, you know what I thought was I do have something to say. What I thought was gross was when she called Doll my little lobelet.
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
I'm like, that's just disgusting.
That's like a cute term of endearment for a Ferengi because the lobes are like everything.
Yeah, but isn't that like calling him like a little Dickie or something?
Yeah.
Oh, my little Dickie.
My little
Oh, look, my
lobelet.
little mushroom.
Yeah.
my little mushroom head.
Yeah.
As opposed to the regular Ferengi, which has a huge mushroom head.
Oh, we're getting into heads, so let's get into the next section.
Hi, Captain. Act 2, Glee Crossover. The protostar arrives on the planet of sand and descends into the middle of a populated, invisible city. The locals take offense and create a sand dune around them. Gwyn figures out how to communicate via tricorder frequency, and it works. The aliens stop attacking and invite them into their homes. The crew is super impressed with the interior decorating. That's when their host shows them the crystal room and gives them a concert and a light show that even Free Cloud would be jealous of. But that's not enough for the Ferengi, who tears crystal after crystal from the aliens' tendrils, causing the life form excruciating pain and anguish.
That I thought was really kind of fucked up because, they're there, it's a host, and they obviously were trusting, and the Ferengi just went Daffy Ducks, like, mine, go. And it just starts grabbing and pulling those things, even though it was causing the creature problems. Kind of reminds me of when the Ferengi were first introduced in Star Trek. They were supposed to be evil villains, and they wind up being kind of comic relief until Aaron Shimmerman and them took over as Quark. And of course, Eisenberg, when they did Nog, to show that they were really a full dimensional fleshed out creatures rather than being comic relief.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they were fully fleshed out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Look at Noogie.
So when they were
very
fleshed
cool.
out, was that when they were compared to like as a capitalist type of
I meant that when they were fleshed out, they were naked.
Oh, that fleshed out.
Oh, the female.
All their flesh was out.
That kind of flesh.
And that was not a pretty picture.
Were you looking at their ears again?
My ears are up here, sir.
I had to because anything else would have burned my eyeballs.
Aw.
The female naked Ferengi form must be something else, but we don't see it in this episode because this is the reformed Ferengi. Although she is still not on the up and up. She's definitely a bad girl.
Yeah, but thank God she kept her clothes on.
Yeah, but Moogie fought for the right for the female Ferengis to have clothes, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was definitely kind of really fucked up.
Yeah.
And didn't care. Was leaving Doll behind, was leaving everybody behind. It's like, I got mine. Fuck y'all. I'm out.
Well, when she was like, she goes, my lobes are tingling with opportunity. I'm like, my sphincter is clenching with disgust.
Ew.
That's very, very specific, sir.
The mental image.
I was more reacting to these aliens. These aliens are really cool. I mean, it was like
they were
running into the brethren of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. They communicate by music and light show. I thought that was beautiful.
That was such a good idea. Sounds and harmonics. And I wonder, so when the ship was landing on the planet, did those engines sound like an assault? Is that what their first impression was?
I mean, why didn't they just use the transporter again? Did they get like heebie-jeebies from using it from beaming over the ship? That was kind of interesting that they had to land down there.
Maybe they find out that you die every time you use the transporter.
They found McCoy's old notes.
Yeah.
But I did like the acoustic terra molding that these aliens they use to shape things with sound. I thought that was really cool, and I can only imagine what the noise of today's modern trucks and cars with the big subwoofers going down the street would be destroying buildings everywhere if they could.
No wonder why they were offended.
Now, a little bit of cool information that you can use if you want to try an experiment. If you have a speaker and you put a kind of like a plate or a plastic covering over it and put sand on it, the harmonics coming from the speaker, whatever you play, that sand will turn into a geometric shape. They found that happens, that sound actually winds up giving shape. So the fact that they did that was really impressive. Somebody did their research on the show because all sound winds up developing into some sort of shape. And that was pretty cool.
I also thought it was really cool that when the actual aliens kind of floated into the scene, they had this little feedback guitar sounds effects to them. I thought they would really dig hearing some Jimi Hendrix because that was like the soul of their sound right there.
And the question they would have asked them, are you experienced?
Ooh.
So, well, that was a Jimi Hendrix song. I see that I'm showing my age.
But I mean, they all know Purple Haze and they know, Foxy Lady. Are You Experienced was the album like track, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God, I don't know any of those.
And then the Foxy Lady probably when Gwen showed up. Foxy Lady. So
Heather probably thinks it's a
furry.
No, a reference to the guys that did the Saturday Night Live skit, Wayne's World.
Oh yeah,
Wayne's World.
Party time.
Wayne's World.
Party time.
Excellent.
They used the song in the movie, in one of their movies, and that was like a certain generation grew up hearing it from them first.
I know Wayne's World. I'm not too I don't know too much about Jimi Hendrix.
Well, yeah, you just see that's just it. Is that song was by Jimi Hendrix that they used it in Wayne's World, but yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
You mean Jimi Hendrix made Wayne's World?
No.
Excellent.
No, Foxy Lady. Foxy
Lady.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Garth had his moment and heard Foxy Lady, that was kind of Hendrix.
See, I was about to have serious respect for Jimi Hendrix, but
Well, you should.
I know I do.
He's one of the best guitarists alive. There's a handful of them.
I can hear. He even excites Patrick so much he sends it in his pants.
Well, this is true.
What?
There's
did you guys notice Janeway spotting? Is that the Diviner's minion?
Janeway was spotting. She's pregnant.
Wait, she's a lizard?
I hope not. She's a hologram.
Oh my God! Please, HR, don't be listening.
She's a lizard.
No, it was like that episode of Law and Order, like all of them, where they enhance that image.
Yeah,
enhance that.
Well, that wasn't this section. It was the
was this section. I thought it was this section
where she spotted the Diviner's minion.
Yeah.
No, that's next section.
Are we still in the wrong? Am I in the wrong section? No, that's the section.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's
they're down on the planet.
I'm
she's left on the starship, looking through the footage.
Yeah, she's trying to figure. So I did have a crew before, and that's Chakotay, the one that gets really upset and pissed off during conventions. And there's who's coming in from the door, and then she does a Blade Runner. Enhance section 34278.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Before Law and Order, there was Blade Runner.
Yeah. And that was really cool. And you have to be really good at math to know what the hell section is on a photo. There's no numbers.
Yeah, you just can't call out the XY unless you really know the whole grid.
Yeah.
Thank you. Or do like with an old style iPad, just take your fingers and spread them so this way you can enlarge the picture.
Oh, jeez. Captain.
Yeah, I said
no, that's
fingers.
how you zoom in on an iPad. You spread them.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about something else. So was that the Diviner's minion?
I wasn't going after the man in a boat.
It looked like Drednok to me, yeah.
Drednok. That's his name. Okay.
Drednok.
Yeah.
Grignac?
Drednok.
Grignac. Rock. Okay.
Rock talk.
That was now, well, we haven't got to the part where she really hurts Dahl's feelings yet, right? The Ferengi.
No, that's next section.
Well, all I noticed is I wrote down rule of acquisition 21 is never place friendship above profit.
Yeah. And again, from what you guys said earlier, this really explains his personality. So I can kind of forgive him a little bit more knowing the environment he grew up in. You know, not trusting everybody, running kind of scams on people. So,
but still, you're like, you are your own person and you make your own decisions. So I think influence only gets you so far.
This is true. So hopefully there's hope for him. You know, and then they run out and they try to escape, and she just like leaves everybody there cackling because she's got the gem that she wanted, the crystal actually. So that was kind of fucked up.
Next section. Should we go to the next section?
Yeah, we might as well.
Aye, Captain. Act 3, we done fucked that one up. The Ferengi runs away with the crystal while Dahl and the gang apologetically gives the remaining crystals back to the tendrils. Unfortunately, it doesn't help as the home collapses in on itself. Dahl goes after Nandi as they struggle for control over the last remaining crystal. During the fight, it's revealed that Nandi sold Dahl to the mine so she could get the latest version of Alexa, or, the companion cube. And to make matters worse, Nandi stole their chimerium. The Ferengi gets away and Dal is transported back into the protostar. Dal quickly transports the crystal that, he sneaks his badge onto back to the aliens, and they make a quick exit. On the bridge, Janeway imparts the lesson of the day. The Prime Directive is there for a reason. Because they broke it, this species will always have a bad first impression of aliens. I guess this means our beloved crew is in the doghouse with Murf. Meanwhile, Nandi is digging through her crap when Alexa notifies her of the reward for information on the protostar. Nandi happily accepts the mission and contacts the diviner.
I just love that we now know who the sandworms report to on Arrakis.
Yeah, that's true. They're down there with music and the crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Because the spice must flow.
Mm-hmm.
But what was really kind of fucked up is when she admitted that she sold him.
Yeah.
So she can get the new, Xbox Cube or
the companion cube.
companion cube.
It was just so brutal. I mean, it's one thing to break it to somebody. Oh, yeah, sorry, kid, I sold you out. Like, literally, the reason she sold him out and just to learn it like that. Like, oh, I didn't tell you. You didn't notice that? It was like...
But that was supposed to be like his mother. Like, she raised him.
It's so horrible.
And she sold him for profit.
Yeah.
Well, at least she got a profit, because that's the most important thing.
So that's really was fucked. And the look on his face, you can see he was really hurt, because this was somebody, it was a parental figure.
And now he has something in coincidence with Gwen, because Gwen has got this problem with the parent as well.
Yeah. It's one of the most hurtful things you can go through is that you find out that you don't matter to someone as much as you thought you did. And that
not that you just don't matter. It's like you don't matter enough that they just sell you like you're a piece of property.
Yeah. It's like that lie that Rondo told Quill. It's like, well, I didn't eat you because your hands are small. You can get into different things. I'm sorry, I'm crossing fandom here. That was from Guardians of the Galaxy. But it was definitely hurtful to see him do that. But he had the presence of mind, which again shows how clever he is to put his comm badge on the crystal. Oh, yeah. No, he's smart. And that's the one cool thing about Dal is he's very quick and he's very sneaky. So he has very useful attributes as long as he uses them for good and not evil. Yeah. He's full of the sneakiness. Yes.
Yeah. Use your powers for good, not evil.
So that was definitely interesting. And the crew, of course, saved him because he's crew.
Yeah, they used the transporter too. It was beamed up at the last second. I was like, that's what's supposed to happen on Star Trek is the world is collapsing around you and you get beamed out at the last moment. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, like in Galaxy Quest, the ship always gets stopped from being self-destruct at the counter too.
I'm impressed that Jankom was able to get a fix on him without the comm badge.
Well, I think it was his hair. His hair was looking good enough that the transporter worked. Jankom was obsessed with this look this episode. He was like, oh, my hair is looking so good. Oh, no, it's looking so bad. He's got hair issues.
Yeah.
He's definitely trying to, I guess, Tellarite. He's going through puberty, I guess.
he's actually pretty good looking for a Tellarite, I must admit. He's kind of punk, but he's kind of cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, he would scare the shit out of the Ninja Turtles because he looks way too much like Rocksteady. So,
oh my God, you're right.
He does.
That would be pretty wild. But the fact that he was able to do that, I thought was cool. And again, this Ferengi is somebody I added to my list who I can't stand because she finds out that there's an award and she's like, oh, well, how did Diviner get there already? Because that was like 4,000 light years.
Oh, I thought it was like a post or something on a blog.
It was, but it's going to take a while for the Diviner to get there.
If there's some inconsistency with this show, that's the one thing I'm like, looking at, because they started in the Delta Quadrant, and I think they're still in the Delta Quadrant. And so if that's the case, then Dal grew up in the Delta Quadrant, but kidnapped by a Ferengi. How did the Ferengi get into the Delta Quadrant?
They're in the Gamma Quadrant. So when they did the Protostar 9, they said they went from the Delta Quadrant to the Gamma Quadrant.
But when he was brought up, they were in the Delta Quadrant.
He was brought up in the Delta Quadrant.
In the mining colony on the Delta. See, I'm confused at how big the space is and how easy it is to transfer.
So you're like, how did your mother get all the way out there?
Exactly. How did the Ferengi end up in the Gamma Quadrant? How did the Klingons end up in the Delta Quadrant?
Yeah.
This is the stuff that I think they need to explain, that maybe the barrier between the quadrants have been that have been figured out and they can transfer back and forth a lot easier. But at the same time, this starship is the one with the protostar and it's its own one of a kind. So how is everybody else getting back and forth?
So isn't there a wormhole from the Alpha Quadrant to the Gamma Quadrant? And we see that in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, but still, how do you get from the Gamma Quadrant to the Delta Quadrant?
I don't know.
So space is huge. I mean, that's the one thing we know for a fact. It's big. It's very fucking big. It makes you feel really, really tiny in the world of space. So it's all spread out. So how is all the worlds colliding? I mean, it's fun. It's a whole lot of fun and it's very entertaining. But at the same time, I mean, I have to suspend my disbelief in watching a science fiction show that I grew up on, which is, its own thing to figure out the distance between everybody.
Yeah, because it took, what was it? It took Voyager, wasn't it 80 years or 100 years to get from the Delta Quadrant to the Alpha Quadrant?
Well, that was how long it would have taken. It only took 7 seasons, go figure. But
right. But I mean, they had to go through a lot of crap to get that.
Yeah. And they had a lot of, hop, skips and jumps along the way. And then they had the caretaker and Borg ingenuity and all this stuff.
A couple highways.
Yeah. It took a while. there was no carpool lane for the Voyager.
At the end, they got on a plane and just rode the plane home.
No, I just discovered why Nandi sounded familiar to me. It's because she was voiced by... No, it wasn't her. It was Melissa Villaseñor. I don't know if any of you know that name.
from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, she did the voice as the frail woman. I thought that was pretty cool. So I just found that out. So that was a reason why. But it was really kind of cool. It makes me wonder that the aliens that they met, well, they weren't aliens. Actually, the ship was the alien. When all the crystals were returned, was that changed their opinion?
Well, he left the comm badge on it too, so all they're seeing is that image of, the Delta. And so are they going to associate that with the people who brought the crystals back? Are they going to associate that with the people who sold the crystals in the first place?
I'd say probably they would associate with the person who sold the crystal in the first place. Because it's like, oh, look, the mark. That mark wasn't there before. And then they came and stole it, and now the mark's there.
It does make you wonder about, the mark being the communicator badge that was being back with it. Yeah. And I think that leaves an interesting hole open because they could always come back around in orbit and ping that comm badge and say, hey, guys, I need help. So we may see this, people.
You should never leave a hole open.
Oh, God.
leave the door open. But yeah. So the idea that we could possibly revisit this group of aliens, these crystal aliens, it was kind of cool. I kind of like that. At the same time, you're right. They really broke the Prime Directive pretty hard.
Extremely.
And Janeway was, as a hologram Janeway, oh yeah, she was fucking livid.
She was pissed.
She was holding back tremendously about trying to yell at these kids. Because if you're a hologram projection and you start yelling at the people that you're supposed to be helping and they just don't turn you off, right? So she had to hold back a little, I think, because they would have like, okay, Janeway off. That's like she's yelling at us too much. Turn her off.
She was so mad. I'm surprised she didn't just throw them in the brig.
Yes, seriously. And she's like, and that's why we have rules.
That's why we have rules. You get the tension.
That's right.
I wonder if next episode is going to be like, okay, Prime Directive 101.
Yeah, right? Well, they're going to start having like classrooms and she's going to start, teaching classes there.
Either that or Janeway's going to send them all to a murder planet again.
Oh, geez.
Did we learn anything yet? If you didn't, you will die.
Man.
This was a good episode. In some respects, it was kind of interesting to see they have another foil to go against because that she's going to be trying to follow them. And it's going to be curious how the Ferengi is going to try to see if she can manipulate Dahl again. Because
she wants the Latinum. Of course she's going to.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting whether or not he's going to fall for it, so it's going to be curious.
Not to mention he was sneaking around her and being the crystal back. So that was, now there's also a revenge from the Ferengi.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
exactly.
The thing, her line again is that, okay, Patrick, you can put earmuffs on for this, is that when she discovered this reward, she's like, my lobes are tingling with profit. So with the potential profit, what was it? Opportunity.
Opportunity with opportunity.
For a line that you didn't like, you sure have that memorized.
Well, it made my sphincter clench, so.
Oh.
And it's been a while since your starfish puckered. Oh.
Oh, Jesus. The images.
So that was pretty cool. What would you give this week, Heather?
I would give this an 8 I really enjoyed this a lot. I thought it was a very good episode. I love the new aliens. I love the whole concept of the new aliens. Doll pisses me off. The Ferengi pissed me off. Other than that, I love this.
I thought it was very cool as well. How about you, number one?
I'll give it like a 7.5. Thought it was fun. Nandi made me want to hurt somebody, so.
Nandi made you want to hurl?
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Melissa Villaseñor did a good job because I really disliked the character.
That was not a fun. Yeah, they really despised that person. So, and how about you, Chief?
I'm a high rating. I want to kind of give it a 9 because I really enjoyed the episode. But you're right, the conflicts and the characters. I think it's a different flavor of episode, this one, but I think not in a bad way. I think this is good. I think it's fun seeing the kids on an adventure and getting out of it in the way they can. I think it builds the universe, seeing a character from Dahl's past and seeing that he grew up under a warp engine all the time. I mean, gosh, the poor kid raised by a Ferengi. I mean, yeah, it's pretty wild. So and then they leave things coming up into the future. Like, there's a reward out for the protostar. And you got a Ferengi selling them out. That's just like, what are you going to do? But you still have other things like the parallels between that Dahl realizes his upbringing compares to Gwen's upbringing. I think you have parallels in those characters. That's very interesting. And I also love that they got the transporter going. And that's such a useful tool that is so integrated into Star Trek. To go 7 episodes, now we finally see it. It's like, whoa, finally. I was like, it's already. Gosh, I'm thinking as they put it up at the front of the episode.
That was cool. I will admit. For me, I think I would give this a Blue Vayner semi-hard 8 as well. I enjoyed it.
The image.
What? I enjoyed the episode. Ferengi pissed me off, but that's what good villains are supposed to do. You're supposed to hate them and get you more invested into the show. I am seeing some growth from Dahl, and I hope he continues on that path, as well as I see Gwen softening her position. I always thought that there was something there. So I'm shipping Dahl and Gwen together. Rock Talk is always a pleasure to watch. So I really enjoy that. And like you said, his hair.
Oh, Jankom.
Jankom. I
Jankom.
love the fact that Jankom.
It wants its own show.
Isn't it real or is it L'Oreal? So
oh my.
This is pretty cool. And I got to get me a Murf. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to get a Murf.
Murf is so dang cool. And
Murf
now that we
is the
know,
best.
I thought you had one.
Murf is indestructible now. That's just awesome.
Yeah,
Yours
I
is
need
short and curly.
No, I need to get a Murf and put him on my shuttlecraft and the captain's yacht.
I'll get a hold of a couple of my contacts and see what we could do, Captain.
Thank you, because I would
welcome.
love a Murf, but not as a slave, as a willing person.
Right. I'll see if any Murfs want to transfer to our ship.
I would be cautious on that because Murf tends to gnaw on the ship. Any creature that wants to chomp on your hole is Murf, not good for your ship.
I was just hoping they would chomp on the Tribble shit.
Well, Murf understands, and we could use him as a trash compactor because apparently Murf will eat anything.
We have trash compactors.
Like a Roomba.
But it's kind of cool to watch something Janatlis goes through Janatlis cube, like in Dungeons and Dragons, just go down the hall, just picking stuff up without leaving slime trails. And plus, if we have any photon grenades we need to get rid of really quick, I don't think we have any.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, he would go right in there and we can watch him burp fart. Oh, no, wait, I said that out loud. Oh, God, please don't let the Tribble start up again. Oh, okay. Next week's episode, it doesn't look like there's a title. Is there? Their number one?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I find it interesting. The title of this show has a hyphen in some of it, and some of other writings, it's like in the show itself, it does not have a hyphen.
I think it's because it's a double entendre, so to speak, because first con, as in the Ferengi running a con.
And then the tact.
Yeah, there was no tact.
There's already an episode called First Contact, but we don't have a dash in it, so this is the first episode, First Contact, but with a dash in it.
But it wasn't in a dash. They said they changed it for the show and they removed the dash.
They did remove the dash
but
because
when you hit pause on the Paramount Plus app, it appears with a dash. So I find it fascinating that this is spelled all kinds of crazy ways because they couldn't get their ducks in a row.
Well, I know Memory Alpha had a problem with it because they had First Contact with no dash, and then they had to delete that page, and now the page is First Con-Tact. So I thought that was the name of the episode they finally, went with.
Well, group sourced information is always revising itself for a little bit.
True.
Yeah, and Memory Alpha's it's been kind of lagging because last week when I was doing the summary, they only had a partial.
Oh, yeah.
By Friday night, they only had a partial summary.
I wonder if that shows how many Trekkies are watching the show. Yeah. And I think they're missing out if they're not watching the show because it's still just as good as any Star Trek show.
When I was doing my notes last night, they didn't have the notes up on Memory Alpha. And I think I finished around 11 p.m. and there's still no notes. They had the teaser, but that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So much easier to do the summary with the...
Yeah, because then you have to go back through and you rewatch the show and you're pausing and writing and pausing.
A 30-minute show takes 2 hours because you keep pausing.
And you got to spell Rock Talk right and PikPox and...
Look up names, make sure
and you got to spell Murf right.
Yeah, exactly. And then your autocorrect steps in and screws that up.
And your lobes start tingling.
with anticipation and opportunity.
No.
It was I think it was decent, and I'm looking forward to next week. So next week's is going to be hopefully just as awesome as it continues on. How many more weeks we have of this before they stop it again? Do you know?
Isn't it 4? Because Discovery is going to start up in February.
Yeah, let me see. Let me look at the...
I think February 10th, if I remember correctly. So Discovery starts February 10th. So this is going to go until the first week of February.
It looks like, yes. It looks like we have 3 more shows before it stops.
Yeah, February 5th is our last podcast for Prodigy. And then the 10th or the 12th is the first new Discovery one.
Oh, I was so close.
This one looks like it's up to episode 10, and then Prodigy takes a break until New Year's, until December 31st, it looks like. Okay. And December 31st looks like it's going to be...
December.
You mean for season 2 of Prodigy?
Yeah, for season 2.
Oh,
it picks up in December.
All I want to know is when is the next Expanse thing coming, because the Tribbles keep shouting Belterlowda.
There's no more. We have to wait till they come back. That was pretty cool. For those of you that don't see Expanse is a very smart sci-fi show. It's on Amazon Prime. Who picked it up after it was unfairly canceled?
It was on Sci-Fi.
Yeah. So,
but Sci-Fi Channel is just stupid, and they constantly cancel good stuff.
I know. Magicians.
The Magicians. There was also another one called.
Well, the Magicians ran its course. I mean, there were only 3 books.
They canceled it, and then that's when they decided they were going to do the 3rd book. Was after they got the word that they were going to cancel it. They were just going to keep going. They didn't have to cancel it. I'm glad that they wrapped it up the way they did, but they didn't have to cancel it. Sorry, I just went on a rant.
They don't know how to treat sci-fi, kind of like Fox. Fox canceled a lot of sci-fi shows before its time,
Firefly.
Like they did Firefly, Space Above and Beyond.
Firefly.
So Space Above and Beyond was also another awesome one, which I protested against, as well as Firefly. Farscape, I actually wrote letters to Bonnie Hammond, which was the president at the time of Sci-Fi, protest in front of the building because it was in New York because of the fact that they canceled Farscape. And the way they canceled Farscape was so fucked up.
I mean, that last episode where freaking Crichton and Aaron just dissolve into pebbles. I mean, you can't.
Spoilers.
You cannot leave a freaking episode like that.
Yeah, they give you kind of a spoiler in a way. There's always, when you have a male and female on the show, you always have the will they or won't they, and that's what keeps viewers done. And it gets to a point finally where he proposes marriage and accepts, and they're on a little boat. Such a romantic scene, and it looks really pretty. And then a ship comes out of nowhere and shoots them both in a boat, and they turn into 1,000 cubes in the bottom of the boat. And that was the end.
Spoilers.
They canceled it right there.
Right as he was getting, about to get some. Boom.
We can't have sex on this show.
Yeah. But at least the protest and everything was so much. It was the same thing when the protest happened with Firefly. Sci-Fi says, okay, in order to shut you little fuckers up, we'll let you have a series that'll tie everything up. So they came out with the Peacekeeper War and they tied up all the loose ends and put everything in a nice bow. The same thing with Firefly. Everyone was so pissed off that they canceled Firefly that they green lighted Serenity.
Yeah.
So, which was really good.
Yeah.
There's always talk that they're going to pick it up again. So we'll see. It wouldn't probably be with the same actors, unfortunately, because everyone's went off to do other things.
Babylon 5 is coming back.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's going to be, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, don't spoil the end of that one because I was just about to watch the finale for season 3.
Spoilers.
They have other little series.
Babylon 5 was so good.
Yeah, it was. And you get a chance to see some Star Trek actors in it as well.
You have to watch the movies too after season 5 is over.
They've got movies too? Oh my God.
They do. They have the Rangers. They have
oh, that's cool. So, because Battlestar had some movies after it too. So that was kind of fun when the series get movies afterward.
But it was interesting. In order to tie things up here, first off, I want to thank everyone for joining us. And if you're listening, we really appreciate the fact that you take the time to listen to us every week. Also, we'd like to appreciate all of our Patreon members. That is really awesome. And if you haven't joined our Patreon yet, you can get a prices as cheap as the guy used to sing in RoboCop. I'd buy that for $1 because that's our bottom tier. You can get in this for only $1.
That's class.
I mean, come on. Where can you find value content for $1? Anywhere.
Not here.
Anywhere. That's for certain. So,
well, the content we actually give away is free, and that's the value. But you can support us with Patreon.
Yes, so please do. We're going to be we're all over on different social media now. We're even on the Facebooks. So you can find us on that. You follow us on Twitter. We're on IG. We're
OnlyFans.
Shout out to
Oh my.
That's a whole nother sideshow.
Everywhere, including Radio Freedom, and it's broadcast on the belt. So if you're a belter, you can hear us.
Belterlowda.
There you go.
Yes. So you'll be able to hear us there as well. So thank you. Wait. No, I do not want to see nude photos of my science officer. Get out of here, Doc. Thank you. Okay, so thank you. So wait. No, not of my officers either. I don't want to see Patrick and I don't want to see Rock Keys.
This is how our Patreon was, updated because the dots got frustrated and updated our Patreon.
Oh, they're the ones that posted that nude of
That's what happens. They have access to the account. So,
oh my God.
I'm going to kill them.
Because there was one that Heather had to do that proctology exam.
That was a really hairy away mission though. I mean, literally. And
you're supposed to shave beforehand.
No, when they got, I don't know what was on the planet, but when they got back, it was just a sight for sore eyes.
It was because normally
Nathan said it was a proctology exam, and you said it was hairy. I said you needed to shave.
No, because in Aliens, the aliens will come and they will grab the person's face, the face hugger, and they would impregnate them through the mouth. The report I had from Heather is that they use the bottom entry. So she had to take care of that, which thank you. I may put a commendation for you because that was really shitty.
Yeah, it was really, literally.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Again, thanks everybody for joining us. Please be careful out there. From what I understand, this is the plague-ridden century which you guys are in with, what is it up to now? According to my timeline, it's like Omicron. So not Optimus Prime. It's not a Decepticon. It's not a Transformer. Just be careful. Mask up everywhere you go. Make sure you get vaccinated. We already got in trouble with Section 31 and helping develop the vaccine because we want you guys safe. So be careful out there. Make sure that you have a great week and make it so.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter @StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.